Hopefully. I'll let everybody kind of make sure you guys can see this. Cool, cool, cool. I might have to draw a little bit smaller too. Okay, right. So anybody that's up in here already, how does this look to you guys? Like, can you guys see the whole image? Because I just had to restart it. All right. So cool. Think we'll just restart it then. That's okay. For whatever reason, YouTube was tripping. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. That'll be okay. All right. Hello and welcome everybody to today's live. Today we're going to be talking about how to understand and study George Bridgman's anatomy. Now, George Bridgman was a phenomenal artist and had a way of constructing his anatomy that would make it very understandable to, I would say, a beginner artist, but if you're new to this can be a little difficult, I'm not going to lie. But this live is really just here to kind of break that down in a way where you can understand it a lot better and apply it to your own drawings and your own understandings as you get better and work on improving your art. And like I said, I'm sorry about earlier, guys. For whatever reason, the camera just not working. But I think we're good now. Just make sure you guys can see everything. Just shoot me a quick something in the chat if you guys can see the whole page. If you can see my hand on this side, there's no discrepancies or nothing. Can you guys see all of this? Let me find a sharpener. Yeah, okay, cool. Perfect. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about, but we're good now. All right. Off to an interesting start, but we have started, so that's the main thing. All right. You have good video quality. Perfect. All right. So I'm just going to go into these topics here and just kind of chat about George Bridgman and how to understand it. Okay. All right. So basically in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to understand George Bridgman's anatomy and how to use it to apply it to your own art and improve your art tenfold, essentially. This is the artist's cheat sheet, in my honest opinion. So I'm going to be showing you how to study George Bridgman, not just copy him, because after a while, copying can only take you so far. But we want to really get into the psyche of Mr. Bridgman here and understand why he did what he did and how we can apply it to our own art. So one of the major things that he shows us in his art is construction, using basic shapes. Make sure you guys can see that. Yep. Using basic shapes to create bodies. He uses a lot of cubes for his construction. And construction is such a fitting word because once you understand that the body is just shapes put together, at its simplest form, the body, when you're drawing it, is just shapes. If you can understand that, then it's literally like you're constructing a house or building any kind of infrastructure, any kind of building. That's literally what you're doing. You're just taking boxes and putting them together to create form. And I'll show you how that works right here. So see, we have two boxes here, one for the torso, so this would equal the rib cage, and one for the pelvis. Now, how does this translate in an actual drawing? So what we'll do is, make sure you guys can see this. I don't want it too far up. So let's say you have a body here. What we're going to do is we're going to draw it in its simplest form first, and then we're going to go back through and add anatomy to it, just so you can see how this structure here is the basis of what you need to understand how to draw bodies. And we'll just shade this right here and shade this right here, since we're following the Bridgman reference. And when you twist these boxes, when you have these boxes offset, and you have one of them facing this way and another one facing this way, what that does is that creates motion within your drawing. It's a very simple but effective trick to give the body some kind of movement, some kind of life, without having to do too much. You don't really have to rack your brain to understand that. You can just see, just based off of this simple spin here. So we have this box facing that way, this box facing that way. You can now see the twist that the body is doing. And we'll just have the legs right here. Right. And okay. All right. So let's add some anatomy to this so you can see just how this plays out in real time. So we're going to use the same kind of box method here, but now we're going to add anatomy. And this is essentially the Bridgman method, taking these basic shapes here and using them to construct. And once you can understand the construction of a body, then you can go through and create your own poses, or even just having a better understanding in general. Once you understand that the body really is just basic shapes put together to create form, you can start to apply that in your own drawings. And we're using reference here, but later on in this video, we might just do that and just apply the Bridgman method to our own studies and drawings. All right. You can see here just how it's the same structure, essentially. We've structured it out. We've used these boxes as construction. And now we can go through and add anatomy over the top of that. right? And another thing that I want to point out here is the balance of this pose. A lot of the weight is being shifted onto this left leg here. And balance is such an important thing to keep in mind as you're working and drawing your poses, because you don't want the character to be off kilter, because then it starts to look a little strange. But if you understand where the balance is, then everything starts to flow and you get a good representation of a good pose. All right, and you can see here, just using these basic shapes, we have now constructed a body, right? Perfect. And you could also do this from a side profile as well if you wanted to. And that's what we'll do here. Just one more, just taking these boxes, these basic shapes, and creating form. All right. The body will connect here. And we're just going to add the arm, but it's going to be the same, basically the same structure. See, the box represents the rib cage here. Here we're going to add the rib cage. The pectorals are going to come across here. The arm is going to reach across. There. Add the face right here. A little bit of hair. How about that? Right. And there's this box here. That's what this box represents, the pelvis, so that's what we'll be working off of here. And you can see just simple shapes. Simple shapes are all you need to construct the form. All right, can you guys see that? Perfect. Okay, so you can see here we just took the basic shapes here. This is basic anatomy that we have. And now you have a figure. But it's using the same principles, the same construction. Good Lord, it's hot in this room. Hopefully y'all are cool where y'all are, because it is steaming in this room. It's quite ridiculous. All right. So you understand how to use shapes. Perfect. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is becoming sculptors. Okay? Because one thing to understand the shapes that make up the body, but what about when you're doing your anatomy, right? When you're drawing your anatomy, I want you to understand it in terms of in terms of sculpting. Okay. So let's say you're drawing an arm, right? And first and foremost, if you guys don't know this already, the arm is made out of if you're going to simplify the arm, it's made out of these two shapes here, a cylinder and a sphere. So circles for the joints, so circles for the shoulders, elbows, and then your cylinders for your major muscle groups. Okay. And then you just do like a block kind of shape for the hand. Okay. So when I say think in terms of a sculptor, this is what I mean. Let's say the arm is just one marble block, right? Just imagine with me for a second. Let's say the arm is just one marble block. So how would you get an arm out of this structure here, this shape? When I say think in terms of a sculptor, I want you to be able to see the anatomy and chisel the anatomy out of imagination, essentially. So just gonna chisel away at this block here that we've created. And so we'll start to bring the arm out of this shape, right? Got shoulder right there. Okay. And we have the forearm, right? And like I said, for the hand, we'll just kind of do one of these. We don't have to get super detailed on the hand. That's okay. Right? So you can see we have chiseled this shape out of this block of marble here. It's kind of how I want you to look at anatomy. Anatomy is shapes stacked on top of each other. That's essentially what anatomy is. So if you can see the anatomy as structures instead of just lines, just kind of bumpy lines that are there, it will help you improve so much because you're now seeing it as shapes. And once you can see things as shapes, you got it made because you're no longer guessing. And I can take this even further and take these shapes apart, right? This is the shoulder here. You can see that the bicep intersects into the shoulder. Right? So you can see that goes into that. And so you can see the construction of it. That's what I'm trying to show you guys, the construction of these parts of the body. And then we got the hand over here. So this is just something to keep in mind when you are drawing and working on your anatomy. Like I said, I'm going to go through and edit this video. That way you guys can be able to take notes and have something to go off of. And it'll probably be a voiceover too. Honestly, it'll probably be a voiceover. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. And I might go live a little bit later on tonight as well. I might just go through and teach this whole lesson all over again, honestly. Just in case you guys missed anything. But I will catch you guys on the next live stream. I appreciate it. Peace.